I still ride on my head, me sipping on yak and Hennessy. I niggas fell off, but my crew, so just remember me. Rolling in time, my nine, about to go off. Money makers, niggas, so something about this show. All my crews off, my in my top down. Ain't no need to be friends, so quick is my cold strategy. Then on my chrome, lavishly decorated with stuff. Cause one is just in my pedigree and home, and I would never be. Nothing was talking about that, so no niggas was talking, so I take it back. Only the hard these niggas, snakes will slip, but it don't matter who pulled the trigger. One time, so but niggas is slow, but they remember back in back. Barely anyone knows that I told you. I'm in the read, won't wait, I came back and set it straight. And all my niggas say, make up your mind what you wanna do with your life. I can deep tripping under the vein and start ripping. Niggas will start clapping the end of the thoughts missing in. My feelings, but my mission is peace. I hope I need with my peace as I breathe in the streets. The shadows, my banners, I ain't the block sneaking up and keeping you up some shots. I'm ready to pop. I blow this nigga's brain up. That shit he was talking, his blood, nigga, from the same mouth. Yeah, should've never fucked with a dog, nigga. Toss it up on my block, niggas. It's every just one once a lot, man. Comes to begin, reflecting what you done in the no time. You find for yourself, what you need. And the richest that will help you now. What you need. It is wonder why this game has got begging, face and rain, living through that day that's it, but Lord has been make up your mind what you wanna do with your life. Talking about the shit inside the car, but remember one thing, nigga, when you think in the darkness, you forgot the time. Put my leg in the car, even you can't be naked, and the grandkids still on my chin like you want to be great. Niggas love a lot of shit, but then after I go home, put the baby in the wall, I can tell you. Yeah, I had to start with one of them AI songs. Shout out Black Dog. Last couple lives, it seemed like I've been dragging. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to find out. You know, if anybody in the chat, if I'm dragging or my mic, I can't see it until tomorrow. It looks okay to me. But welcome to the Goob Show. I am Goob. If my mic and all that is okay, somebody in the chat, just let me know if it sound all right, because I may need to adjust something. Yeah, it's not. Anyway, what we're gonna get into this show is, I said, I'm Goob. This is the Goob Show. Shout out to all my promoting in the house. Jay Rowland, shout out to you. I want to talk about something, man, that I never thought about. You know, flat Earth. You know, I spoke to two people yesterday, two different individuals, both believe in the flat Earth theory. That's what is known as the flat Earth theory. I'm not sure that I could debate it that exclusively, because I never read it. I never thought about thinking that the Earth was flat. Everything that I see with this telescope behind me is spherical objects in the sky. Everything is spherical. I've said that. What I want to do is I have some videos of other people, scientists, anthropologists,
what is he, an astrophysicist and a person from NASA. But I mean, it's an interesting topic. You got to understand, I believe in UFOs. So some people, I'm crazy in the motherfucker too. But when some people speak of the flat earth and they use scientific thoughts or mathematics, or I don't see, I can't understand that. I can't believe that fact, that we're flat. Some use religious aspects, what was said in the Bible. That's it. But you got to understand that was written thousands of years ago, even though they knew. I think they get that analogy or thinking, and people had them thoughts back when Columbus sailed. They say it, you put out the map and it's a flat map, so the earth is flat. Like I said, I'm the wrong person to debate on it fully because I never looked into it like that. I've always thought. I know when I look at the sun, it's spherical. The moon is spherical. Jupiter, Mars, all those are spherical. So why would we be the only thing that's flat? Jay Rowland said, we'll think like this: at all the technology we have, planes, boats, phones, why hasn't anyone proved it? Yeah. I want you to hear what some people, when they think about or they're hearing this, is the reason why I did this live. Like I said, I'm far from the one that can try to debate them on their facts of it. I can only speak what I know, what is in my face, what I see from other things out there. Some say there's a dome over it. I mean, there's so many different, I just don't understand why would you reason be that we would be flat out of everything in the solar system, unless you don't believe in the solar system itself as well. But like I said, I got this video. I'm gonna listen to it. Let me move this AI out the way. And here with a person from NASA, an astrophysicist, and somebody else you may know, speak about the flat earth theory.
How do we go about proving that?
That's a hard thing for me to even start talking about because there are so many proofs that the Earth is round, it's difficult to know where to start.
B.O.B., the rapper, I have a video letter to him, the transcript of which is in Letters from an Astrophysicist. That rose to that level of attention because he started saying, I am using laws of math and physics to show Earth is flat. Those are fighting words. You're going to say using math and physics? That is an alarm to the geekiverse that we must rise up and counteract these forces from the dark side that are out there.
There are proofs all around you. It is not difficult to know that the Earth is round. So let's start from the simple to the slightly more complicated. One of the things you can see yourself with a pair of binoculars is if you actually go out to a lake and there are boats on that lake, the farther away a boat is, the more the bottom of the boat will disappear, and you'll basically just see the mast of the boat. And as a boat goes farther and farther away, the last thing you will see is the very top of the mast of that boat. And that's because the boat is actually going over the horizon that's curved. And that means...
Now, that's one fact that she's bringing up. This is Michelle Teller from NASA. And that makes sense. if you look
means
at
that
it.
as it goes farther and farther away, you see less and less of the bottom of it and more of the top of that. You can see that with binoculars, by an ocean, by a lake. It's really easy. That wouldn't happen if the Earth were flat. You would simply see the boat getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it went farther away, but you'd be able to see the whole thing with the same proportions.
Go to the seashore. Go to a seashore and figure out why you can't, if you live on the East Coast, figure out why you can't see Spain from the East Coast of North America. Just go to the middle of the Mississippi River and look south. Why can't you see the Louisiana? Why can't you see New Orleans? What's the problem there? Well, then climb a tower or go to the top of a hill or a mountain, and you'll see a little farther. But you will not see to the other side of the earth, places we know to exist. For example, I've been to London.
Liars, though.
I can tell you, other people have.
A lot of them are.
I've been to
I don't think everyone is.
Vancouver, British Columbia. And you cannot see Vancouver, British Columbia from Boise, Idaho, let alone from New York City or Toronto or what have you.
Then there are some other proofs that are a little more obscure, but they're actually really lovely. And one is to observe what happens during a lunar eclipse. Now, a lunar eclipse happens when the Earth casts a shadow on the moon. The moon actually goes dark. In fact, if you've seen one, you can actually see the Earth's shadow go across the moon. And when the moon is entirely in the Earth's shadow, the moon looks kind of dark and even kind of red colored. It's really, really beautiful. What's happening in that case is that the sun is on one side of the Earth. The Earth is in the middle, and it's casting a shadow. The Earth is casting a shadow on the moon. And as the shadow moves across the moon, you'll notice that the shadow is curved, it's round. So something like the sun that's bigger than the Earth and is able to cast a shadow of the Earth on the moon can actually show you the shape of the Earth. Aha, you might say, but could the Earth be a disk? Could it be flat, but it's actually still shaped like a disk, not like a sphere? There was a Greek scientist called Aristarchus, and what he noticed was that you can get a lunar eclipse at many different angles where the sun is. Sometimes the shadow goes straight across the moon. Sometimes it just kind of glances the moon. Just a little bit is in shadow, just on the top or on the bottom. From every different vantage point, every different angle that the sun is casting a shadow, you always get a perfectly curved shadow. The only shape that can cast a shadow that's curved from any direction you put the light is a sphere. So people have known that.
That's facts. If you look at it, I got another thing with Neil deGrasse Tyson where they give you an actual video or diagram of the look of the sun and the moon and all that, and you'll actually see the curvage in it, and then they distinctively say what it would look like if it was flat, if Earth was flat.
The Earth is spherical for thousands of years.
Look at pictures from space where you see the Earth as a sphere. Those pictures are not faked. And I'll tell you, just if nothing else, here's why you can tell they're not faked. Just to create the paperwork that NASA has created, for NASA in this one case, just the paperwork to send anything out in space, to send people into orbit or to send them to the moon, that amount of paperwork would make faking it prohibitively expensive. No one could afford to generate that much documentation. Then the other thing, if you want to get into this, if you're really serious, if your friends are really serious, have them get on a boat or a ship and go out at sea, and you'll notice you can't see infinitely far. Furthermore, if you get into it enough, pick up a book about navigation or go online and learn about navigation. A very, very important thing you have to take into account when you try to navigate the ocean from a ship or a boat is how high you are off the sea surface. The higher you are off the sea surface, the farther you can see, the farther away the horizon is.
I actually said this to somebody, and I couldn't believe they'd never thought of it. That, you know, with binoculars, you can see planets. You can see Saturn and Jupiter. You can see Mars with a telescope, the sun, the moon. Everything else you see in the solar system is a sphere. So we're the one thing that is different, you know. And that actually made somebody who was more interested in actually hearing information. That actually got them to think. They were like, "You're right. You know, everything else we take a picture of is a sphere."
And you guys come.
And see, when I came up with this, and I got interested, like I say, after the two people that I spoke to yesterday. One on someone else's show, on a Dre Too Much show. Shout out to Ace Boone Coon. You know, he's into that flat earth. He used Bible things to say it. Hard to talk to me when it comes to the Bible because I believe but that's another story. But I still can't take from what his belief is. Another one is Neighborhood Real. Shout out to him. He had a lot of good explanations why he believed that the earth is flat, and he's adamant about that. So I had to look into it because some of the things that I've said, you know, why is everything else a sphere? She just said that. Why is everything that I look in my telescope is spherical? But we're the only thing that's flat. And then, you know, I'm not going to put words that was said in other aspects, like we're in a dome, from somebody else that I spoke to. I don't get that either. We've never been out of this in space in actuality. That is true. But we've been far enough in the moon, but the moon is still in our realm, part of space. But we haven't been past the moon.
Everybody watches newscasts. You all use mobile phones. You all see airplanes fly around. You all go to see Ed Sheeran in concert one day in London, another day in Melbourne, Australia. This all depends on our fundamental understanding of the size of the Earth and its shape with extraordinary precision. And if you want to get into it, the Earth isn't quite a sphere. It's a little bleh. Its spin is a little bleh, stretched it, made it slightly oblate, as the saying goes.
And it's not okay to think that the Earth is flat. This is not a viable argument. I have friends who have been on the International Space Station. They have orbited the Earth once every 90 minutes. You know, I have had personal experience with people that have been up in space and can see with their own eyes that the Earth is round. And of course, we've taken all these amazing pictures from space. They're so beautiful, all those pictures of the Earth. So I don't really know what's going on right now with this Earth is flat thing.
In a debate, what is the construct? It's typically two people, and there's an audience, and you debate some opposite sides of some issue, and then there's a winner of the debate. And then everyone walks away reflecting on the winner. So who wins a debate? It's often the person who's charismatic, who...
To the slightly more complicated. One of the things you can see...
Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn.
Hold on.
Then everyone walks away.
I was trying to get and stop him. Just freeze. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I like the young man. You know, I like everything. He's an astrophysics, smart as hell. I have a problem that he jokes about UFOs, but he does have some interesting facts of the reason why they wouldn't come fuck with us. But he doesn't deny that they are out there. But he won't actually say that they're here. And so I think he contradicts himself on that aspect. But he is a smart individual.
Reflecting on the winner. So who wins a debate? It's often the person who's charismatic, who's maybe charming, that's related to charisma, of course, who has a good way with words, good vocabulary. And you can have someone who doesn't have any of that, who is speaking objective truths, who could lose a debate. So then what is the point of the debate if one of these points of view is objectively true? So I will not enter a debate where I have the objectively true side of an argument and the other person does not. That is something that should not be debated, does not belong in front of an audience getting debated. You want to debate something? Debate political policy of what to do in the face of climate.
And you know, and I can hear what he's saying. You know, this is a hard. I mean, this is not a hard debate, but to some realms, it doesn't make any sense to debate that are we spherical or are we flat? There's so many things out there that shows and proves that we are spherical. But in order to keep a conversation open, where, you know, because we have the freedom of speech, we have that in United States. I don't know about other places. And you have the right to believe what you want to believe in. Like I say, it's people that listen. I talk about UFO. So a lot of people do not believe in that shit, and I'm crazy as hell. So I get that. However, I think there's more evidence that we're not flat than it is of people seeing. However, don't get me wrong. There has came out a study that said there's almost 64%, something of that realm, of people that believe that this planet is flat. So don't get me, you know, to just saying it. This is my opinion on it. There's a lot of people that believe that this earth is flat. But I just can't see scientifically the you know, like I say, where we get 360. Everything is 360. It would have to either be 0 or 180 with a mathematically for this planet.
Climate change? Do you have carbon tax? Do you solar panels? Do you subsidize them? Debate
Welcome
that.
to the platform.
Don't debate something that is or is not objectively
zero
true
proof
in this
flat
world.
earth.
This is all susceptible to analysis, but spend some time learning about navigation. Tell your friends to spend some time learning about navigation. Navigation's changed the world, by the way. What are you wearing? You're wearing stuff that came from another part of the world on a ship. It didn't get here by magic. It got here through science.
I think it's important to combat people who are claiming that they are using math, science, evidence, and physics behind their cause, when in fact they either aren't or they're using it badly. That needs to be called out. Otherwise, if you just have a belief system, I don't really care. We live in a country that protects free speech, which usually also means free thought. You want to think Earth is flat? Go right ahead. But if you start influencing other people who have power over other people, and you have no foundation in objective reality, it can be dangerous. If you influence people, or you yourself become someone who has influence over legislation, laws, rules by which we all abide in society, that's an unhealthy situation for civilization to be in. If your personal belief system,
that's
which
Bill
does
Nye, the
not
science
have
guy.
correspondence in objective
You
reality,
see, he kind of got frustrated with the question.
starts becoming predominant in the thoughts and hearts and minds of civilization.
It's not okay to say that the earth is flat. This is some sort of strange denial. I don't know where it comes from. And it's something where I keep getting this question. We really need to put this question to bed, because we've known the earth is a sphere for a long time.
Tell me, Neil,
this is Neil deGrasse Tyson on his show. And he's going to speak on the flat earth theory as well. Like I say, I can only speak the parts that I know. They know way more. But I don't need to know a whole lot more. I just don't understand the what a person that's a flat earther might not understand. Gravitation, how everything sticks together on this ball that's just spinning in infinity, basically. But he speaks it a lot more fluently than I do, but he makes sense.
Earth flat? We have video from space of the rotating spherical Earth. The Earth is round.
Thank you for joining us on this episode.
That's what it's called, Star Talk.
But what's odd is there are people who think Earth is flat.
Right.
But recognize that the moon is round, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the sun are all spheres, but Earth is flat. That's not, something doesn't square.
Something doesn't jive, right?
Okay. Plus, in my latest book, did I just plug my book?
Wait, your latest book is called Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. What? We just happen to have a copy right here.
No, it just happens to me. I swear we didn't plant the book. I have an entire chapter titled On Being Round. And it's an exploration of how all the laws of physics and the accounting of energy as processes unfold in the universe, how that conspire to make things round.
So it favors the sphere.
Favors a sphere, yes.
Right.
And if it's something's not a
And that's fact. Almost everything that, we use to move things basically is spherical. If you ever seen them doing the science lab where they make, what is that? Laser or electricity or something, and they put a bunch of magnets together, and they have a ball that's spinning, and the energy turns into a ball. Not sure what it is, not that scientifically advanced in this shit. He is.
sphere, it's a little bit flattened. You can ask what flattened it, and you find out, it's rotating real fast.
Right.
So then it gets a little flattened because of that.
Right.
And so almost everything in the universe is either spheres or slight distortions of a sphere for some other thing that's happening to it. We can just see how the universe favors spheres.
So it's nature.
Right.
Basically,
nature.
the universe.
In all fairness to the people who want a flat Earth.
Yes, let's be fair to those people.
Okay? In Columbus's day, there was surely a flat Earth contingent. Okay?
Yes.
Columbus predates the era of experimental checking of any idea you might have.
Not a lot of peer-reviewed studies back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Kind of just like...
You just say whatever you
Right.
felt.
You know what? I believe that elephant poop will cure cancer.
There you go.
That's right.
That's what I took from it. A lot of people that use this flat Earth, they go off the map that they spread out to spread the continents out. I believe that thousands of years, everything basically was connected or broke off, unless it was within the sea. Because you have the Ice Age, they don't talk about. You have, definitely don't talk about the dinosaurs, whatever. But that's what they used back then. They came out, it was just a flat Earth because they were just moving in a straight direction and thinking that it's flat. But they had to realize, even back then, if they started from one way and they hit land and then went on the other side of that land and continued on, they'll be back from where they started at eventually. Dre, too much. What's good with you?
Wrote a paper about it. Like to read it? Here it is. And you're good, right?
Right. So it wasn't until Francis Bacon, Galileo, in the 1600s, where the idea that if you're going to say something and you think what you're saying is true, then no matter how obvious you think it is that it's true, you should still test it.
Gotcha.
There could be something fooling you in one way or another. So if you want to say Earth is flat, then, for example, lunar eclipses. What's a lunar eclipse? If your face is the brilliant sun.
Thank you.
And this is Earth. and the moon is over here, the sun is always casting Earth's shadow into space. It's always there no matter what.
Right.
Obviously, okay? It's just a shadow.
It's a shadow.
The moon
It's just a shadow
occasionally
shining on blackness.
yeah, a shadow in darkness.
A shadow in darkness.
So the moon occasionally passes through that shadow. And if you see the shape of Earth's shadow on the moon, it is always round. Always round. If Earth were flat, sometimes you get like a flat shadow.
Right.
We've never seen a flat shadow.
Right.
In fact, it is a segment of a arc of a.
See, that was a kind of a funny part. Because ain't nobody seen no two lines like that on the moon. But, you know, they may have to say that something about, I can't remember. I've heard something they say, like if we're in a dome, the sun and moon rotate. I'm not sure, but this was kind of a funny little thing. I'm gonna have to run it again. Just
Always
to hear
round.
it say.
If Earth were flat, sometimes you get like a flat shadow.
Right.
We've never seen a flat shadow.
Right.
In fact, it is a segment of a arc of a circle, no matter the orientation of the moon and the sun. And the only thing that makes a perfectly circular shadow
would be something that's perfectly circular.
Perfectly
Shout out to Wayne
spherical.
Parker.
Yes. So the only thing that makes a perfect circle shadow every single time is a perfect sphere.
Right.
Okay? No matter what angle you shine. Whereas a disc, it would only make a perfect circle if you lined it that way.
Right.
And then
you have to look at the face of the disc in order to get the circle.
The circle. If any other angle,
you
get other shapes.
something of another
The
shape.
Greeks knew this.
Right.
All the lunar eclipses they said, oh my gosh, we must be in a round Earth. This is thousands of years.
Before
2,000 years before Columbus. Exactly. Right. So now if the Earth is round, how big is Earth? Mm-hmm. You might want to check for that. There was a famous experiment conducted by Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes. And the two cities in the old world, and one of them, they knew that at 12 noon on a particular day of the year, that the sun was directly overhead and you could see the bottom of a well.
Now this right here, what he's about to do is interesting. Never thought of it, never crossed my mind, but it makes real sense. And I have to get somebody that's a flat earther to not only explain some of the other things that they said or, you know, go against it, but this what he's about to show coming up.
Oh, okay.
You don't run around looking at the bottoms of wells.
No.
Because the light doesn't take, it's just, no.
Doesn't get down there.
Doesn't get down there.
How can we use this observation to see if Earth's surface is curved? We needed another well. Turns out we can't see the bottom of both wells at the same time. What might explain this? Well, there are two possible explanations. First, we could have a flat Earth with the sun that's small and close by so that the light hits the second well at an angle. Or second, we could have a curved Earth with a sun that's big and far away so that all the light comes in parallel, but only one well at a time is lit all the way to the bottom. Turns out with just two wells, there's enough wiggle room for both explanations to fit our observations. Eratosthenes only had two wells, but what if he had added a third? With a third well, it doesn't matter where the sun is. No flat Earth model can explain the angles of all three shadows. But the spherical model explains it all three angles, with ease.
And to do this experiment, you got to measure the angles. Greeks had the angles.
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, geometry translates to.
Now, that was interesting. And if you ever been in geometry tree, you get those angles from light. There's one thing on this planet that don't lie, and that's mathematics. I don't care how much you use it. I guarantee you, right here in this little intermission, I can get all the people that's in this little chat to get the same number by picking a different number in your head. Because math don't lie. Yeah. He say, your flat earth's in here, man. Yeah, he had some good, good conversation about it. But I have to deter it. Like I say, if anybody wants to do this, I'm gonna show you how math all around the world can get you, each and every one of y'all that's in this chat, to pick a number and get y'all to come out with the same number. I'll do it when you're ready. I'm gonna let him continue on. He's almost done.
Earth measurement. So one last thing, which should be obvious, if you pay attention and think about it. If you send a ship straight to the horizon, eventually it begins to disappear until it's no longer visible beyond your horizon.
Right.
And you should ask yourself, what kind of surface would produce that result?
The ocean, the ocean has a ramp. It's like a parking lot. The ocean has a ramp.
And it's an elevator.
Yeah, it's an elevator. And then you get to a certain point, and they're just like going down.
Seafarers knew this.
Right.
And so, however flat they would have imagined the Earth to be, they couldn't have accepted it to be completely flat, because otherwise you would never not see the ship. Okay. Also, if I just tell you, Chuck, walk due east, okay?
Right.
And don't ever stop.
Right.
I just turn around my chair and face this way, and eventually you're going to come back.
Right. And you'll probably be about 150 years old. Because I am no Forrest Gump. That is how long it would take me to run the Earth.
For me, the fact that there's a rise of flat earthers is evidence of two things.
Okay.
One, we live in a country that protects free speech.
That's actually kind of awesome.
And two, we live in a country with a failed educational system.
Ooh, that one hurt.
Our system needs to train you not only what to know, but how to think about information and knowledge and evidence. If we don't have that kind of training, you'd run around believe anything.
Anything.
Anything.
And if you're in...
And that's true. I'm gonna leave that on that note with that. That's, if you'll believe anything, but you have your belief, freedom of thinking, freedom of speech. But the science, the astrology, space doesn't say the same thing. We can't be the only thing that's flat and nothing else is flat. I don't know about this other dome and filament. I ain't got into the filament part. That I remember they were, both of them said that about the filament. But like I said, those were the only two people that I really had a conversation with about the flat earth. I had never really heard of it, thought about it, never crossed my mind, but there's a lot of people that believe in it. And that's my little niche for tonight. Of course, I got some UFO videos for you. Every night I'm going to have that before I close out. Like I tell everybody, look up. They out there. I have people that, once again, that's not coming to us. That's within our dome, our range. They can't get through the filament. Something is getting to the filament because something is in our skies. And like I said, these are just different videos of it. And I appreciate everybody that stopped through. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you think the video is bullshit, fake, just in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Give me a like out before you leave. And if you ain't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm always put out these little UFO videos. But let's get into this real quick.
Yukarıdan bir şey atılmıyor, aşağıdan atılmıyor yani. Evet.
Ya bu bildiğin iniyor.
Niye bu kadar attı? İşte aradan gelmiyor, ışın geldi yani. Evet. Hep oradan geliyor. Evet. Çok güzel. Aha bak, oha minik. Oha. Gördün mü ya? yapmaya başladı. Orada motor ama cisimleri belli olmuyor düşerken. Alev altı göremiyor. Aha. Ama anneden bu kadar düşmez ki. Bir şey atılacaksa bile, uçaksa bile bunu atar. Geçer diyorlar.
All right, there's two lights up here. Flying like that. I don't know what that is. I'm driving right now. I can't. But there's two lights. It's weird. Maybe that close. You can guys see it on my phone, right? Excuse me. See it up there. I don't know what that is. You guys might not believe me, but I don't know if it's going red or why they're flying together like that or flying so close. I have no. One look like it's flying really low. One look like it's flying really high. One's going higher. Oh shit! Fuck! Look at that, super low. Look at the distance.
Did somebody shut the light off on there?
Dad, I'm an Isaac. I'm scared. See what outside. We're not sure if it's actually. What is that? Coming
That's
towards
just going
us.
across the sky, back and
It's
forth.
coming towards us.
When I first saw it, it was towards the right one.
Which one's right? It's gonna get on cow.
Look how fast that thing's moving. Proof aliens are real.
That thing's such a drone. That's I'm gonna turn into a unicorn. Come closer. I'm scared. Hi,
And barely see it. It just disappeared. Watch what this turns into. Two orbs. Y'all can see its little white dots in the sky. different angle.
Estamos oyendo.
Probably the best view of it out of all.
Estoy viendo.
This angle and this last angle.
Y acá en las Américas con Boyacá se reporta un ovni en el cielo. Aquí en la
That's
ciudad.
the hell of a plane. Here was the fifth angle, that was the best one. But that's it for the videos for tonight. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed the live. Appreciate everybody who stopped through. Dre Too Much, Wayne Parker, Black Dog, Jay Rowland, Trillion. Appreciate all y'all that stopped by. Like I say, the Flat Earth Theory, if y'all want to ever talk about it, y'all look at this. You see the title. You know what I'm saying? We can chop it up about it. Like I say, I can't believe that I have to get more evidence outside of the evidence that I've seen. Nothing but spherical, I can't even really say that word, spherical planets outside of our realm, what will make us flat. They should also be flat. Everything else should be flat. But hey, it's been a good show. Won't be on tomorrow. Steelers play. Steeler Nation up in this video. Shout out to all my Pomona peeps. I'm out of here. Peace.